poked the hole through the window. Were you aware that you hit me in the chest?
I wasn't aware of any of those injuries. No.
So obviously, I'm telling you now.
I was on the outside perimeter.
So you guys responded to a call from someone who was trespassing in my home. I admit you didn't know that they were trespassing, but you responded to a call where nobody answered the door. And decided, excuse me.
Are you walking around your trailer right now?
No, I'm not. No, I'm not. I'm not at home. I'm not at home. I'm not at home. I'm just asking you, so the normal response for the Rcmp ERT is if somebody doesn't answer their phone or their door, they shoot in the windows based on the call from an anonymous person where there's been no proof. As the media has reported, I was wielding a weapon, and my neighbor has put into writing that the police said I had a gun. I don't have a gun, never had a gun, and my neighbor put that into writing. So I, as a disabled, grieving widower who spent the last month exhausting myself, was grieving and sleeping at home after being sleep deprived for so long, had a visit and seeing my taxpayer dollars used to not only assault me, but to do damage to my property in the middle of the winter. You shot out my windows. Do you know what an endangerment to my health that is? Why do the police also speak to the media and say, we'd like to thank you for your patience while we safely resolve the matter? I don't believe the matter was safely resolved, nor do I believe it was properly handled. Are people expected to keep their phones on while they sleep and grieve after being sleep deprived, just in case the police decide to shoot up their home?
We went to extensive steps.
I went to...
Going through the window was like the last step on a very long process. You know, the phone calls were the first one. Like I said, we were literally outside your trailer, loud hailer on. We had going on like that. We had the horns going.
For how long?
We at least 20 minutes plus.
Do you have video recording to support your evidence?
And then literally we had a explosive sound device go up beside your slate. We had a beanbag round thump against the side of your trailer.
You've already said that. I'm asking you a question. Do you have video evidence to support your actions?
No, but we have...
I have video evidence.
20 plus police officers who were all watching it.
Yeah, and I have a lot of Vatican priests who won't say that they molest little boys either. So I also have video evidence of police in my home. I also have evidence of me walking around my suite, obviously, not drunk, intoxicated, whatever, but sleep deprived. Have you ever been sleep deprived?
Yep. Well, about a day and a half or so, or 2 days sleep deprived.
You're lucky. You're lucky.
I've interacted with people who've been sleep.
I'm not talking about other people. I'm talking about you.
Me, no.
Because I'm speaking about my experience of being a caregiver and a disabled man myself, looking after another disabled man with a compromised immune system and stage 4 cancer. Do you understand why I'm upset?
Yep.
You guys could have easily just opened up a latch. Did anybody try the door? No, but just shot beanbags. Lots of beanbags I'm hearing. I got rubber bullets. There's a difference in our stories here.
Okay, so again, we were going under the assumption that you possibly had a firearm.
On an anonymous...
put ourselves in risk to get shot through the door when we approach the door.
Yeah, and I don't...
There was no gun, which was thank goodness, but again, the only time those guys come out is when someone got a report of a possible firearm.
somebody reported to you that I had a firearm. Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
So is that the person who called you?
Yeah, the original complaint came in.
I'm going to tell you right now, go investigate Shirley. Because if she told you I had a gun and was suicidal, because that's the person who called you, because there's nobody else in my suite except Shirley and Diane before and after you guys left. So somebody's lying when they say about a gun. And it's not me, because I've never owned a gun. I've never touched a gun. The only time I have seen a gun is in the films and on a holster of a cop. So you guys respond by shooting a gun into the home of a disabled, sleeping, grieving widow based on the allegations of a stranger. Actually, not only a stranger, but a home invader herself, because she trespassed into my suite and served me alcohol, knowing that I was on benzodiazepines the day before. My benzodiazepines are missing, and so are my husband's. Do you have any idea of the damage you caused me? Well, you guys were concerned about your safety as paid employees and recipients of taxpayer dollars. I, as a taxpayer who's also disabled, was seriously violated based on the false allegations. Does that mean that I can make a call? Does that mean based on what you're telling me, I could make a call to the police and make allegations that somebody's got a weapon in another home? They may not even be home. And would you go and if they don't answer their phone, would you go and shoot up their home?
No, because there was many steps we did after that, right?
Okay, what would the steps, if I were to make a call to you, reporting that somebody is allegedly was suicidal in another home and was threatening to harm the police, what would your actions be? Normally.
Similar situation to you. If we have reason to believe there's a firearm involved, right? Okay, we try to make full contact. If they don't get full contact, then we usually do the loud hailer to do that. Pretty much every other option besides there. After your window was broken, the next thing would have came through there would have been a cell phone being thrown through the window there.
A witch? Next thing would have been a witch?
The next step, and your situation, if you didn't come out, would have been a cell phone pushed through that hole.
The whole window was gone.
Yeah.
There wasn't just a hole in the window. There's a hole in the wall of my RV. The window's gone.
Right. I mean, I told you before, we did many tests in many different ways to get your attention.
Okay.
Prior to the window being blown out.
Yeah, we've covered that. My question to you now is, making a false report to the police is a crime, is it not?
Yeah, if it can be proved that they knew it was false.
Okay. Now you're saying that you had a call from somebody who was inside my home. I've got video of her, Shirley, alleging that I was suicidal and had a gun. You just admitted in the phone call here, you guys searched my place. There was no gun. That's a false report to the police. I also have benzodiazepines missing. A registered nurse would know what benzodiazepines are. Very smartly, the canisters are still there, but the pills are gone. As is some money. So what are you going to do about this, making this false report to the police that a gun? Or is she going to get off because she's a white, Christian, elderly ex-nurse?
None of that stuff mattered. We had no idea about you or before we went in there. We knew we had a previous files with you recently.
What previous file did you have with me?
I think we had a check well-being from you.
A which?
Was it the day or prior, a couple days prior?
You had a which?
There was a check well-being file. I think again, I'm just kind of going by memory.
No. There was no check well-being. I've not had any visit from you guys at all. because the video on the driveway would have recorded it. Yeah.
Let me just check.
You do see how our stories sort of like don't align up. I've got video to prove mine. Now I want to know what's going to happen to Shirley making a false report. She was trespassing in my home before you guys got there. You guys shit out my window. She's back in my home again, and benzodiazepines and money are missing. You just stated to me that you had a call saying that I had a gun.
January 15th, the day prior to this, another police officer spoke to your trailer, correct?
I don't. You know what? It could have, but I don't see anything on my recordings.
I believe this was shortly after your husband passed.
I don't have a visit. I don't have a recording of any visit. But if somebody made a well-being visit to my trailer, they would have seen that they would have dealt with me being suicidal then, would they not have? The 15th, I'm on bed all day. My video shows.
Okay, well.
With the exception of going to the bathroom, because I have to go to the bathroom.
Alright. So, okay, so.
I just want.
Police officer came to the check will be file on you.
Yeah.
Your husband recently just passed.
Yeah.
Let's see. You repeatedly were called to the hospital. At one point, you made a comment to the hospital bill being suicidal. That's why that check bill being came. The next day, we had a report of.
Okay. Wait. No. You said the hospital said I was suicidal.
You need to stop interrupting me, or I'm going to end this conversation. Okay. I'm trying to explain this. You need to stop asking questions before I get all my information out. Okay?
Go.
So, January 15th, we had dealt their check will being with you. You were calling the hospital. Your husband just passed away. You know, then have to go to Grieving. Officer came, had a chat with you. That's in that whole situation. The next day, we had the call from somebody saying that you were again making suicidal comments, implied you had a gun, and then you would shoot people.
Okay.
So we look at the third situation. Okay, here's a guy who's grieving. He's a guy who's recently just experienced a huge major loss, right? Made suicidal comment. Now the check was being filed previous day. Now this day here, there's a report of him having possibly had a fire. So